Hello again, guys. Another blog for another subject. I'm going back to the manifestos this time, and I'm going to look at, well, the party that's the flavour of the week. The Liberal Democrats. Well, it is when I did this blog. We'll see what happens after the next debate. But this is the Liberal Democrats manifesto that released on Wednesday. Now, I have my laptop here, so if there's a bit of blue light, that's what it is. It's my laptop. I'm just going to read through some of the points and that have been put on the BBC website, and just go through them and give my views, like I did with the Labour one. The Conservative one is on the way. That's probably one of the next blogs I'll video. But here is the Liberal Democrat manifesto. The economy. Tax-free earning threshold to rise to £10,000 paid for by a mansion tax of 1% on properties worth over £2 million applicable to the value of property over that figure. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. The vast majority of the UK population will have money in their pockets, or extra money in their pockets, because at the moment the threshold is about, it depends on who it is. I think the threshold's about what, £6,000. So another £4,000 before you start paying tax. That's going to make a lot of savings. And okay, a mansion tax, maybe it won't cover it as much, but it's still going to be more beneficial for everybody here. Annual savings totalling $15 billion, including scrapping ID cards and not renewing the Trident and nuclear deterrent. Oh, pardon me, I've been drinking Coke. Okay, annual savings totalling $15 billion, scrapping ID cards. Yes, ID cards I think are probably a bit of a money waster. Why do we need ID cards? You've got a passport, you can do your driving licence, you get all these ID places here. Why do you need an ID card? It's purely for keeping tabs on us, and that's a bit more of a 1984 type society. Not renewing Trident. Okay, right, fair enough. I think the world's still a bit unstable at the moment. I think maybe a nuclear deterrent is still needed. I can understand where the money's coming from, but why they want to do it, because it would save that money, but maybe not just now. Cap pay rises to £400 for all public sector workers, initially for 2 years. Okay, that's fair enough. I can't really say much about that, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. Banking levy to pay for the state support they have received. Break up banks into retail and investment sections. We'll see. I mean, yeah, the banks have been a bit reckless over the past couple of years, but do you really need to start breaking them up in that respect? In that way? Base business rates and site values rather than rental values. Small company relief to be automatic. Right? Flights to be taxed per plane rather than according to the number of passengers they carry. It depends how much the tax is and whether it's actually going to be beneficial for the airline companies then to fly, and that could cause more issues, so maybe not. Set up UK infrastructure bank offering stable long-term returns and savings and private finance. Encourage regional stock exchanges to help business access equality. Turn Northern Rock into a building society. Yeah, that's a bit more stable. That's a bit better than splitting up all these companies. Have a big bank that helps long-term stuff. That might be an idea. Minimum wage set at the same level for all workers aged over 16 except apprentices. At the moment, there's 3 tiers of minimum wage. I think it's about £4.80. So for 16 to 18, then 18 to 21 is about £5.40, and then 22 and over is £5.80. So yes, that's probably good that the minimum wage should be across the whole lot. Replace council tax with local income tax. Okay, it's only something they can do in England because it's devolved in Wales, Northern Ireland and Scotland. But yes, the local income tax is something they had last time. Basically, there's a tax that comes off your wages, and that's basically it's not so much a poll tax, it's not so much the community charge that the Tories were doing in the 1990s, but it's, you know, it's in that kind of area, and it's something that maybe I'll have to look a bit more about. But principle, yeah, I think that's probably going to be better, because council tax rises can be a bit iffy at times. Schools and families. Replace national curriculum with a minimum curriculum entitlement in state-funded schools and scale back tests at age 11. More freedom for school management. That's an English thing. It's not something I really understand. Being up in Scotland, the education system is different. And again, education has devolved to Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales. So this doesn't really give relevance to them. And this is a problem with some of the manifesto pledges here. You've got to remember that the manifesto pledges are going to the vast majority of the electorate in the United Kingdom. But there's about 10 million people who won't be relevant to this because they've got devolved powers from their own parliaments, assemblies, or if you're in Scotland, government. I hate that word. I just think it's completely... It's not a government. The government is when they have the full powers to run the country. It's not a government yet, it's a parliament. They have discussion about some issues, but they don't have full control, and that's what I believe a government is. It's not a parliament. It's not a government, it's a parliament. It's exactly what they say. Pupil premium of £2.5 billion given to head teachers aimed at disadvantaged children, which would allow average primary school to cut class size to 20 pupils. That's in England, so that's something we can't really look at here. Again, these are more England policies here. In fact, there are all bar one is an English policy, but I'll go through them anyway. Independent Educational Standards Authority to oversee and restore confidence in exams. General Diploma to bring GCSEs, A-levels and high quality vocational qualifications together. Reform school league tables and give 14 to 19-year-olds right to go to college rather than the school if it suits them better. Yeah, fair enough, I can see that. It would make sense if somebody who's better practically could go to college and get qualifications that way than sit in school and study till they're 19. Phase out university tuition fees within 6 years. Scrap fees for final year students immediately. Scrap target of 50% of people going to university. Right, okay, fine enough. I don't know much about that thing. Introduce shared parental leave from work, extended to 18 months over time, and fight for fathers to attend antenatal appointments. Right for grandparents to request flexible working. Yes, this is down to the paternity leave thing that the Labour Party was wanting to double. This is kind of splitting the responsibility a bit more, so it's a bit fairer. Something to maybe look into a bit more. Not being a father yet, it's a bit difficult to see what benefits that would be to someone who in that situation. Enforce publication of serious case reviews entitled Child Protection. Support panic buttons and social networking sites. The panic button thing came up a couple of days ago because I cannot remember the name of the authority in the UK, but they went to Washington, Facebook's headquarters, and asked for a panic button. Facebook said they won't go as far as a panic button, but the part of the reporting system will go to them. We'll take in that into account. Health. Okay, all these policies here are linking to England only, again because Wales, Northern Ireland and Scotland have devolved powers for these issues. Payments to health boards and GPs to be linked more directly to illness prevention measures in England only. Cut the size of Department of Health by half, abolishing or cutting budgets of quangos, which are basically government funded think tanks to an extent, scrapping strategic health authorities and seeking to limit the pay of top NHS managers to below level of the Prime Minister. So basically managers are getting about £250,000 a year, Prime Minister only gets about £110,000, £120,000 a year. It's a bit of an imbalance and it's wasting money that could be spent elsewhere, so I can see the point in that one. Integrate health and social care, allow people to stay in homes for longer rather than going to hospital or residential care by limiting bureaucracy. Fine. Scrap Labour's personal care at home and divert the cash to give 1 week's respite for 1 million carers. Okay, don't know much about that one. Prioritise dementia research, improve access to counselling for people with mental health problems. Right. Look into introduction of minimum alcohol pricing, something that Scotland had already looked at. Ban below cost sales and review tax on drink. Okay, the drinking problem is a major issue. A lot of binge drinking, happy hours, cheap drink, things like that. Okay, but what's your level you're going to have for pricing alcohol? How much per unit is it going to cost for alcohol?